Welcome to the FANtom Zone, 3 fans, 1 podcast, and a sea of comics. I'm Noah.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Jared.
And, guys, we have traversed the sea of comics that we are able to traverse at this time.
There are no more comics. We actually did.
Yeah, we've covered all of them. We're done, But but yeah, I mean, so we all talked long and hard about this, and it's come to the point where, we've done what we think we can do at the FANtom Zone. This is our farewell episode, so, sorry to spring it on a lot of you guys, but...
Noah's trying to be diplomatic. He doesn't want to talk about the real reason. The real reason, of course, I have converted to Islam. It's a very powerful sect. It's a very serious sect. And
Guys, no more inappropriate jokes.
This will be it. This will be that. That'll be it. Yeah.
Also, why would that... I'm not even going to try to unpack
I know.
that.
No, I had a question too. I nixed it.
Because I'll just cover it real quick because you guys are both made of pork and alcohol.
I see.
And I can't have it.
Mixed.
Yeah, so... We wanted to do one last episode to mainly say thank you to all our listeners that have listened to us over the past almost 3 years at this point. And, being with us covering movies and TV shows and types of characters and so many deep dives that we've done.
Mm-hmm. Also, Kayla is pregnant and that we have to quit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, look.
Okay, so the real reason why we're not doing this anymore is because Jared has inappropriate jokes.
I just feel like internet rumors, that's called buzz. That's how buzz works.
God.
Look, I would have said Noah's pregnant, but it just doesn't make as much sense.
I could be pregnant.
I said as much.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's been a great time doing this. We've reached a lot of people. With comic books, we created a Discord community and a community online, and it's been great. It's been a lot of fun, talking about this passion that we always spend money on and love.
I'd like to thank Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. We also
For
want to
inventing comic books.
We want to thank Bob Kane. I want to thank Jesus Christ. I'm not Christian, but I like his work.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm grateful that I feel like it instilled, being on the podcast, being a host, instilled like a future habit, which is really looking critically at comics. I don't know. I've picked up characters and series and even companies, and I wouldn't have before. So I feel like I'm just going to continue to be diligent and read comics. It's like, that's not done.
Yeah.
This podcast made me buy so many comics that...
That he actually declared bankruptcy behind the scenes.
That's why we can't do it anymore.
Declaring bankruptcy is only something rich people can do. When you're poor and you're like, I don't have any money, that people are like, yeah, we know, we're going to take your car. That is how there's money in your car. So
that is true. That is one thing that I've like super thankful for doing this for, because as many of the listeners that have been with us from the beginning knows, all 3 of us, we have certain comics we like to read. But when we were given an episode that we had to do from our listeners, or doing a certain deep dive, or doing more Marvel comics than I have read in my life, so it's really expanded my comic book appreciation. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, this was about you guys. This was you guys learning what Marvel comics are. You're like, there is a man. Well, let me get this. Is them reading it. Let me get this. You're telling me there's a man and he has spider powers. He's like a Spider-Man. That's crazy. I love these comics.
You mean there's characters outside of Fantastic Four and Doctor Strange? I don't believe it still.
I was gonna say, actually, you haven't changed that much.
I haven't changed that much.
Okay. I got a question real quick. What is there any, if you had to name one, and you can lie, character that you're into now because of the podcast that you weren't into before?
Oh, jeez.
On the spot? Any of the Green Lanterns.
See, there you go. That's a perfect answer.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at my books right now.
Right behind you. Probably X-Men now. I pick up more X-Men.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that Spider-Man joke, because I feel like Spider-Man has been the one, because I always read him, but didn't diligently read Spider-Man comics, and we talked about it enough that I just like kept picking them up, and then also Miles comics, and then Gwen, and then it just like exploded, and I was like, okay, Spider-Man's pretty cool. Yeah.
Mine, surprisingly, it's Captain Marvel. No, that's not true. Though I do like Captain Marvel. I like Captain Marvel. I just don't like that movie.
I didn't think you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
No, it'd be Wonder Woman for sure.
Yeah.
And I've always loved Wonder Woman, but I think it's really similar to Noah's thing about Spider-Man. It's like not having being like, oh, I should only like that, but like now Wonder Woman is like a title that I
You're
regularly
like
follow.
An eye on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. And it wasn't just our deep dive, but it was because it was part of that, but it was like an overall, like this podcast sort of like started around the time, a little after Wonder Woman came out, like maybe a year after or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it was really big and it was a big cultural force and we were sort of responding to that. But now she's easily in my top 10.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we got to do that movie review and a deep dive of her. You know, obviously there's tons more that we could have talked about and could still talk about.
Until infinity, because comics aren't going to stop coming out.
Oh, forever. I mean, and we're not going to stop reading them. And we're still going to be, the Discord will still be up. So if you haven't joined it on there and still want to talk to us or some way be part of the FANtom Zone, that's still going to be there. So you can find that, on the Discord server. I did want to say, so this is just kind of like, little fun things that we can talk about. Is there an episode that sticks out to you guys that we did that's your favorite? I think I've mentioned mine a few times, but I'm curious about you too.
That's hard because I would have to break it down in categories. Well, because you guys love more of the deep dives, but I liked very specific like research stuff that we did. I remember the episode of the X-Men stories. It was like top X-Men stories or something like that. And we just like, I don't know. It was a very interesting way of analyzing. I feel like I learned the most during those episodes because you get specific details instead of like overall big picture stuff that we do.
True.
So yeah, I like ones like that we did more towards the beginning where we were like laser focused on specific topics that we could really get into the bones of.
So nice. We of course don't mean just like our favorite character deep dive, like because I want to be like, the Thor episode was the best.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that one.
It doesn't count, right?
How about your second favorite?
It's also probably not even true. Like Thor's my favorite character, but like that, and I like that deep dive. But I'm just saying, like, probably my.
We had to re-record.
No, we had
some of that deep dive.
We had to edit out a long part where I told
like an hour.
It wasn't like an hour. It was like, in all honesty, it was like 10 minutes. We had to cut out because it was like.
I
10
thought
minutes.
It was closer to 30 minutes.
No, it was not. There's no way it was 30 minutes. Because I basically told a short story of his entire history, which I have no shame about. I think it was the right. I would have. Here's the thing: what they didn't understand is like that was just the first volume of several Thor episode installments I had planned. I made a Thor statue out of my toenails that I was really excited. Yeah,
God. You have to post pics soon.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I was gonna be their big reveal, but no, seriously. I like my favorite thing about the podcast generally, but like about like the episodes I like the best is when you take like a kind of analytical or theoretical framework and then you apply it to comics and stuff like that. So this does sound like very self-serving, but I really liked the queer history when we did, because I liked the idea of like looking at. Because, I mean, that's what, in a lot of ways, I thought the show was about, which was like having a kind of lens, of a very specific lens, and then looking at comics through that lens. And a lot of times it would be through a character lens, but just generally, yeah.
Interesting. I mean, mine is super simple, and I've said it before, but I loved the Aquaman deep dive and the Aquaman movie review. I just think like it was just so much fun. Like, I think that was like, out of all the episodes we did, that was like peak all of us and performance wise.
It was like episode 6 too.
Actually it was like episode 37. So
was it really? No, there's no way. It was super early.
You knew the number off the top of your head, man. That's embarrassing.
It was probably wrong, but I'm just.
No, I literally think it was 6. I could be wrong.
You only like it because of the puns.
True, and it was just so much fun. It was so much fun, and I think that's when like we got like such a different comic book movie too, so it was really fun to talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much else to say unless you guys had anything else you wanted to say.
Not really.
You know, we have tons of creative opportunities and lots of things that each of us are doing separately, and you know, definitely wanted to take time to give that some breathing room, and so that way people can know that did like us where to, you know, kind of find us and what we're doing after this.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, I was telling them I'm going to become a prostitute, so that's going to be excited. So look for me. And
It's called sex worker.
not the way I'm going to do it. As a very old-fashioned...
What does that even mean?
People are going to...
Jared.
What? I'm not saying there's anything... I would call another person a sex worker if they were a sex worker. I'm just saying I prefer prostitute as a person. We're talking about like what we're going to do creatively.
Yes, we're signing off at this point.
Oh, okay. No, look, that's fine. We can talk about that. Okay, now for serious, like I am still gonna do. I think we're all probably at some capacity gonna do like comic book oriented stuff. I'm still gonna be doing that. I have a YouTube channel that's gonna be starting in I think it's already up, but we're gonna be releasing an episode soon. It's called A Comics Comic. I'm gonna be working with a friend of the show, Mahone / yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more like what do you call it? It's going to be sort of shorter form, kind of like little comic essays or whatever, but it should be super fun. I'm still interested in listening to my comic book take. That's where you listen to it. And then I've got a podcast that's going to drop within the month for sure, closer to 2 weeks. And it's called Two in the Think, because I'm really gross. And it's from Tyler Gross. And it's going to be more like comedy. And we're basically going to do funny conversations, and then we're going to do sketches. Oh. So we're already writing those.
So where's the one going?
What's that?
You said two in the think, but where's the one going?
I don't know what you're referring to. This is really weird. Is this like a some sort of expression?
So two in the think, one in the...
No, it's because there's two of us and we both think a lot, and we get into it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure I'm sure it wasn't a pun on what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know first of all, I don't know what you're trying to get at.
You know what's hilarious
right now?
I honestly don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't.
It's a sexual.
No, I know.
I'm not gonna explain to you. I'm gonna let it be a mystery. Be haunted by it. That's like we were all children and we were like, "What is that?" And that's what it is. Anyway, the point is, it's going to be very funny, and it's me and my friend Tyler Gross, and we're both comics and being silly, coping with COVID with our humor, on our conversation, our takes on the world, and like I said, fun little sketches.
All right. Well, before this turns into another Thor episode, Kayla, you go.
I just, how do you follow that?
Don't be vulgar and offensive.
True that. Well, please follow me on all social medias. I'm not very hard to find. I'm Kayla Miller, basically across the board, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm a writer, so I will eventually get that book that I'm working on every day out. So,
hell yeah.
That's how you'll find that announcement. Yeah, I still plan on being active on the Discord because I don't want to... I might be more active in the video game, movie, television one now.
There you go.
I might do my own mini podcast in those categories on our Discord. But
she just records a note and then sends it. This is my podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like tape recording thoughts.
Hey, you do Twitch also. You do stream from time to time.
I do. I'm a hardcore gamer. I want to start doing that even more. So I'll come up hopefully with a schedule of my work schedule, like my real daytime job. Comes up with a schedule. I can come up with a Twitch one. It's my own muse on Twitch, so that's really fun. Noah might guest appear because I stream Warcraft a lot and we fight together a lot of the time.
I probably will be guest appearing like every time.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's usually how it works.
He's the healer. But I just wanted to really thank everyone that listened, especially since the beginning, and you know who you are. It's not you, it's us. So, don't take this too hard. You'll still be able to reach us.
True.
That reminds me, I forgot to mention, I also have a book coming out.
What?
Yeah, it's a memoir.
You can't replug after a plug.
Yeah, especially after being like, I'm better than SNL, and then I try to top that with, hopefully I come up with the book, and now you're going out with a book.
I forgot. It's called, it's my autobiography. It's called A Memoir, One in the Stink. I think it's going to be really, it's going to be really big. That's what I was laughing at over here. Okay, sorry.
So now now Kayla has the full saying.
No, I don't want it. Take it back. It wasn't worth it.
As for me, I've been doing another podcast for quite a while. It's called A Bite of, and essentially what that is me and my other co-host, we take a bite of our favorite pop culture obsession at the time, and we break it down by seasons. So every season we do a different pop culture property, and currently we're doing WandaVision. We've been doing every single episode so far. We're almost done with it. It's super good. And that's where you can find me, my other project. That's what I'm doing. Also have YouTube on there, all of that stuff. So if you want to follow me or know what I'm doing, you can find me there. I think that's it, guys.
TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Adios.
Yeah. I mean, it's goodbye, but, you'll see us in other forums and still can talk to us if you want to. All right.
Thanks,
bye, guys.
Bye.
You had to get one more.
I tried.